All right, so session 14 for this campaign, which, you know, it's funny because like when we first started playing, I figured we'd do like 2 or 3 sessions because it was just this game that I kind of like.
2 or 3 sessions because it was just this game that.
Oh, someone's loud.
That was me. I'm sorry. I fixed it.
Yeah. Oh, are you the one person that's watching the stream right now?
I was, just because my phone, I picked it up and the notification just went into the app. So sorry.
It's all right. Anyway, session 14. Just as a quick recap, last time you guys were at the YMCA hospital with Grace, and she had arranged a meeting with Kittredge, Sergeant Kittredge. He arrived and sort of explained that there was a ranch outside of town that he believed might be connected to Bunk's abduction. He didn't really provide any information why, but he told you that if you helped him with that problem, he could make life easy for you in Frasier. He arranged for a truck to come pick you up before you guys left. Grace gifted you some like medical equipment, and then you were taken to Frasier. You went through a military checkpoint, and then you sat down in a meeting with Major Sullivan. He outright asked you if you were the ones that were at the rodeo, and specifically asked if you were the ones that signaled the smugglers by turning the horseshoe. After a little bit of back and forth with that idea, he expressed that he doesn't understand why anybody would want to defect to Canada. He expressed a sense of people wanting to defect are being traitors to the United States. There was some debate as to whether or not the country is still the United States. He also offered you very little information, but made a lot of veiled threats, and then asked you to help him take care of some agitators. I'm really enjoying the air quotes tonight. After your awkward meeting with Sullivan that ended in sharing some of Bunk's whiskey, you guys were offered a place to sleep for the night in what was an old storage room that was set up with some cots. The door was locked, but not from the inside, which effectively implied that locking the door was to keep people out and not specifically to keep you in.
It was locked from the inside, not locked from the outside. That's what you meant.
Right. Whatever juxtaposition that would easily allow you guys to leave, but would prevent people from getting into the room.
Right. People kept trying to get in and jiggling all night, and we heard people fucking.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there were at least 2 times during the night where people tried to get in, seemed very frustrated that they couldn't. And then at some point, the butler that was in the valet, Sullivan's personal assistant, kind of poked his head in and asked you guys to take him with you to Canada. You guys kind of dismissed him as being, flaky and unhelpful, and he kind of left angrily. He seemed a little disappointed that you weren't more receptive to his idea. And then in the morning, you guys were hastened into a van with Kittredge and 4 other Vanguard soldiers. You drove to Devil's Thumb Ranch, where you were greeted at the gate by Marvin and I think like 4 other ranchers that were all on horseback. Kittredge kind of plays this little game where they have a back and forth with Marvin. Marvin sort of dodges some questions and basically tells you get the impression from their interaction that neither Marvin nor Jason Kittredge were sort of allies of any kind. And then eventually, when he was pressed, Marvin entirely admits that he had been engaging in cannibalism, which led Bunk to be very much invested in trying to shoot Marvin where he was. He took a shot, was unsuccessful. Marcus tried to shoot the horse when it reared up, He got a successful shot off, but it didn't kill the horse. And after the gunfire, the ranchers and Marvin took off and headed back to the ranch. There was a bit of an argument as to why we just wanted some question. We were just here to question them. We weren't here to start a fight. Bunk and Jason Kittredge get into an argument. Kittredge smashes Bunk in the face with the butt of his gun, and basically implies that this needs to be kept from Major Sullivan. Jason seemed very invested in not allowing Major Sullivan to know that this had gone sideways. So you guys made your way towards the ranch, engaged them in a firefight where Kittredge was killed. Peter lost an eye and is unconscious, stable but unconscious. 2 of the Vanguard soldiers fled, and Marvin and all of his ranch hands, except for 1 goon, were killed. And you guys attempted to interrogate that goon. He was defiantly uncooperative, and then eventually just ended his own life by impaling his face on his own hand axe. And I think that's pretty much where we left it. And I think the intention at this point was to search the grounds and kind of see what there was to find at the ranch.
Yeah. First off, I'd like to. So we stabilized Peter?
Peter is stable, yes. He's unconscious, but he is stable.
Okay. Did we search the big dude, Leon, or what was it?
Marvin.
Marv?
Marvin.
Nobody has been searched. None of the bodies have been searched.
I want to search Marvin because he'd have whatever the keys were for everything on him. He's the head dude.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, give me... you don't even need to roll for this. So, he does. He's got, a lever-action rifle on him. And, a nice leather coat. You do find keys to basically every, a set of keys. And other than that, he doesn't really have much on him.
Okay. I don't need the big old leather coat.
Okay.
But I do take the keys. I ask if anybody else wants the coat. Who's not wearing? Is Peter wearing a nice big coat?
Peter has like a wool sweater on, like a fleece sweater.
Okay, we'll leave it for him, or take it for him then. I'm imagining like a cowboy duster style.
Yeah, that's pretty accurate.
Okay. Yeah, I say we give that to Peter.
Okay.
And I tell everybody, hey, I got the keys. If you find any locked doors, I'm guessing, this
Gotta find them
opens
horses.
it.
Hey,
Yeah.
a couple
horse
things
eye.
before we go looking around too much is that just because we killed everybody out here doesn't mean there's not more people somewhere else on this ranch. So stay frosty if you're opening up doors and walking into
there might
places
be-
where there's blind
Might be
corners.
some survivors.
Yeah,
Half-eaten survivors.
maybe that guy's leg from the
Brian,
house.
from-
The rest of that guy's
Find
leg.
it. We'll
You
return
say
to it.
that, Dorian, and Bunk, my eyes get like real wide, and I kind of get like a little frantic, and I'm like, yeah, let's split up and look for. Maybe they have somebody trapped somewhere, and we gotta help somebody. They're gonna eat them or something.
Also, we don't know how long we have until Vanguard comes back, because 2 Vanguard got away, presumably.
Yeah.
So if we're gonna be here when they get back, because they're gonna come this way, we either need to be gone or have a plan for a trap or something. So let's
Ryan-
start.
Ryan, from where we're at, like
Mhm.
some of us I think have like binoculars and stuff, can like we look around, just not even with binoculars, but see if there's any like points of light, like fire,
Yeah.
anything that would give us like an area to maybe search first.
Sure. I mean, do you guys remember the layout of the ranch? Anyway,
I do.
I'll throw
I know.
I'll throw the image in the chat real quick. But basically, you know, the closest building to you was the one where Dorius and Marcus were, and this one sort of feels like a like a barn. There were hay bales in there. There was some work equipment. It may not actually be a livestock barn, but you get the impression that this was sort of like a, maybe they kept farm equipment in there. It was more of like a big storage house. The directly north of that was a slightly larger building, and as you're kind of checking it out, you can see that there is a chimney that has smoke coming out of the top of it. Not a ton of smoke, you know. It's not like there's not a raging fire or anything, but there is smoke coming out of this chimney. Immediately to the left of that building was the main house, and then south of that, the building that was on the far right of the map, the one that was closest to you on the far left, is a smaller building. So there are 4 total buildings on the map.
Maybe we
I
should
go for the
stick together
smoke.
so we can watch each other's back. Like
Yeah.
try the smoke first.
Yeah,
People
I agree.
watch entrance and sides and back, and then we can check it out without somebody getting the drop on us.
Yeah, let's go to the one with the smoke.
Okay. So you guys kind of walk across that main area, the center, so to speak, of the ranch property. You make your way, and as you're getting closer, it smells fantastic.
Stew?
What's that?
Like stew?
It smells
Like
like
pork.
your last memory of the most succulent barbecued plate that you've ever had in your entire life.
This ain't gonna end well.
That sounds awesome.
But there's a giant sliding door on it, like one of those big, heavy barns, sliding barn doors.
So
Okay.
I'll get ready with what do I have? I have a 9mm. So if you guys want to slide open the doors, I'll be ready to fire.
Yeah, I've got a 9mm. I want to go from a hunting rifle to the 9mm, and I'll be pulling like with my right arm one of the doors. You said they're sliding; they don't swing. They just
Yeah,
pull.
they're big
across.
sliding barn doors.
Yeah, so I like to have my 9mm in my left hand and pull, like it, and I'm on that side, so as it moves, I can kind of move with it and kind of check the perimeter that I'd be able to open and see.
Okay.
On the inside.
Dorian reaches into his sleeve and then pulls out his little like pocket mirror that he has, and he kind of wants to just use it to like peek around a corner.
Okay.
Like, see what's in there without going all the way in there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Funk grabbed Marv's lever action rifle,
Okay.
and so I checked to make sure it's loaded. I'm fully loaded up with all the bullets that Marv had on him, and I'm just kind of at the rear with the lever action.
Okay.
And Dorian wants to say, let's take a little peek behind the curtain.
Okay. So are
And he
you?
winks at the guys.
So who is opening the door?
Dorian.
Okay.
Oh.
So, Dorian, you open the door, and the smell of like a the most amazing hickory barbecue just hits you right in the face. And as you look in, you see large cuts of meat that are obviously smoked and cured, hanging from like the rafters and on hooks, and like this basically looks like a traditional smokehouse, or even just like the cured room where they would store like cured meats and preserved meats. But like initially, you're just seeing like cuts of large game. There's like elk and deer, maybe even potentially some bear. I mean, you're seeing some stuff that, considering that these people are cannibals, none of the stuff that you're seeing hanging, it's all large game. It's definitely not people.
Dorian turns to the guys and he's like, are we sure they were still like cannibals, or maybe they were like past cannibals before? Like, did we do something bad?
I'm not sure.
Did they redeem themselves?
Let's poke around and see what we find.
So just poking your head in, that's kind of what you see. As you kind of look a little bit deeper down, like if you're facing the door and you look down to your right, you do see like a large metal smoke box, and this thing is connected to the chimney. This is the thing that's sending the smoke up out of the roof. So there is, it's active right now.
Do I see any people like walking around or moving around like they're tending the smokehouse?
There are no people in here. You don't see any people. You don't hear anything. You don't see any folks in here.
I'll keep looking around, see if I can find anything. Maybe open the door to the
Smokehouse.
fire chamber.
Yeah.
Okay. So as you open the door, a big gust of air like gets pulled in, and the smoke gets, or the smoker sort of like stokes up a little bit. And when you open the door, you can distinctly see a human thigh, and just various pieces of people. Like whatever's in the smoker right now, this is definitely people.
Take everything I said back.
Yeah, I think we got your answer, Dorian.
Weirdly, it smells fantastic. And
Not to me, it don't. Silas's stomach is kind of churning a little bit uneasily at the sight of this. Just seeing people parts in the smoke.
Okay.
Yeah, Dorian's confused because it smells so good, but he knows it's so bad.
Are Dorian and Silas the only two that see this?
Yeah, because I guess Marcus, like, he's kind of still on the outside. He had his gun pointed inside when it was cleared. He's kind of like looking around at the other buildings, so I don't see this.
Okay.
But did they talk about it? Could I hear them from where I'm at and just be like, ew?
Yeah, we're, hey, these guys
It's
are
people.
definitely cannibals. It's people.
Toilet green is people.
So if some Silas was the one that actually opened up the smoker door, yeah?
Yeah.
I'm going to need you to give me just a flat empathy check.
I'm still carrying stress. Does that come into play on this?
Yes. For sure.
Oh shit! I got a panic.
Oh
and
no!
sixes.
Oh no!
Yeah! Because I have a brand new panic table. I was so excited to use it. Let's see. I need you to roll me a D10 and then add your current panic score to it.
Okay. An 8.
8. That's total?
That's total.
Oh, shit. Okay, so you open the smoker door and you realize that these people are cooking people, and you are flooded with an adrenaline surge. I'll tell you how this plays out, but you are completely flooded with adrenaline right now. You're almost to the point where your hands are involuntarily shaking because there's so much adrenaline surging through your body right now. So when you make your next attack roll or blocking roll, you're going to get a +2 bonus to that.
Nice.
Deal.
+2, you said?
Yes. But you do take an additional point of stress as a function of this.
All right. All right, so I'm just like kind of shaking, like it's fucking people, guys, fuck. And I'm out of this smokehouse. I've had enough of this particular exploration.
Okay.
On to the next.
All right.
At this point, I am hoping there's another person to shoot on this fucking ranch.
Where did you guys want to do next?
I mean,
Again, Ryan, which one were we in? We were in the biggest of the buildings?
No. So if you the image is on the map of the ranch is in the 300 days text channel.
Yeah.
So the building that you guys were in was in the building that's in the upper right corner. That's where you just were.
Oh.
The building that's immediately south of the one that you just explored is what you would assume is the barn.
Didn't we have somebody go through that?
Yep.
Yeah, we already walked through there, I think, in the beginning
Yeah.
when we were advancing.
Yeah.
I
So
don't think we searched it. We didn't like search it or anything.
No, I mean, I think initially you guys were just trying to make sure that there were no enemies in there that were gonna come surging out of the out of that building after the fight started. But you didn't see any people in there. But you didn't really go through and search it.
yeah, Marcus tried to order the Vanguard guys to go search it, and they just told him to
Gave
fuck
the
off.
finger.
That's right. That's right.
Oh yeah, I forgot that. What do you guys want to do? Because they were definitely protecting that house that's on the picture, due west, the big building.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like that was if there's going to be more people, possibly,
Yeah.
hostages.
Let's just move counterclockwise.
And just by looking at it, you can tell that this is like a house. This is a residence. That building is.
Okay, so Marcus, if we're all moving out of that building, Marcus is going to kind of lead the way. He's got his gun out and from what he's experienced, he's got more of a tactical move. It's not just moseying. He's got his gun trained towards the entry point.
Okay.
And trying to get everybody to flank. Let's not go in a straight line. Let's.
Okay. And are you guys all?
But again, not saying it out loud, kind of just using motions to just in case there's other survivors, we aren't yelling at each other.
Sure. So basically, what you're saying is you're wanting to make a tactical entrance into this place.
Yeah, definitely don't want to just bum rush it. Want to move in where we're again not in a straight focal point, but we're spread out. And I do as Marcus, if everybody's okay with it, want to be the point person going towards the entry.
Yeah, last time I went leading somewhere, I saw a fucking oven with people
Yeah.
on it, so you're good. Go ahead.
Dorian is 100% okay with this,
Okay.
and he gives you a thumbs up. He's like, I understand what he's saying with his body because I can read body language perfectly, and I relay that to the other guys just in case they didn't know.
Perfect.
Thanks, Danger.
Okay. Who is going to immediately cover Marcus as he, breaches the door, so to speak?
Bunk
I
one.
Okay. I will just assume
Aren't you like about to drop out? Like
you're pretty hurt, aren't you?
Let me double.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you should be covering our 6.
Oh dang!
My health
I just
is
remembered
4.
I'm at 4 too.
Yeah, I know that Bunk was nearly.
My health's at 3.
I know that Bunk was near death, very near death. Dorian took some damage, and I know that Marcus also took some damage. I don't think any of you are in like great shape.
I'm full because of the hospital was the last
with
place.
adrenaline right now, and I saw more people, so they're definitely eating people. I'm surging with adrenaline. Like I would need to find whoever they have prisoner to like free them. Bunk needs this, so
Okay.
he doesn't care that he's hurt. He doesn't feel any of this shit. He's number 2.
Okay. Perfect. Is anybody have like Peter in tow, or is Peter just you guys just like
He's under the tree.
He's under the tree. Okay, perfect.
Hit him with
He's back where we
branches.
left him.
All right, great.
It's like a dog licking his like acid head load.
Okay, I mean, if you're ready to head in, just give me the word, and we'll go from there.
Sounds like a setup.
Yeah.
Do it.
Do it.
Let's go.
It's fucked up.
All right.
let's roll.
How are you opening this door?
So is it just like a standard like knob, or is it a? What does the door look like?
Yeah, I mean, this is an old farmhouse, and it's just got a regular old doorknob on it. There's a, I mean, it does have like a big window in it, but it's it's covered with fabric curtain.
It's a door that's closed. It's not like a screen port like
Correct.
door that's got an open door behind it. Okay.
There's not a storm door in front of it or anything like that.
Again, so I guess I'm on the right side of the door with my back to it. I want to, with my right hand, turn the knob to open it, and then turn over my right shoulder with my gun to hit the far right, and can crank.
Okay. So as you open the door, you hear not really screams, but like the sound of people just sort of like that kind of thing, where they like you've taken them by surprise. Maybe not surprise, but like as you poke your head in, what you see are 8 women. The oldest looks like she's about in her late 20s, maybe 30 at most. And the youngest one is about 13. They're all wearing like handmade dresses with like plain floral patterns, and they all look like it's straight out of Little House on the Prairie. But they seem incredibly terrified, and they're all kind of like huddled together, and the oldest one is kind of standing out in front of the rest of them. And she just stares at you with her eyes are just like big as saucers.
I want to
Did you say light them up? Is that what you said?
Light them up.
Am I the only one in the room, or is everybody following me?
So far, I don't know. Did anybody else follow him in?
No,
we don't know what he's seen.
Okay, so I want to kind of make myself a little smaller with my hands up, but my gun pointed at the ceiling. This other hand doing this, saying, "Are you okay? Is there any of the bad guys in here?"
And she just kind of looks
bad men.
She just kind of looks at you, and she doesn't really relax, but she sort of takes a little bit like a cautionary posture, and she's just sort of like she sort of mom bars the rest of the girls, and she just kind of holds her hands up like this, and she just sort of shakes her head no.
I yell, "They weren't prisoners. Back up. They were not prisoners. We are the bad men to them. Come on out of that room."
Marcus is going to hear Bunk saying this and not change his posture, even still kind of squatting, but he is going to move back out of the room, or out of the front room of the house. But the last thing he's going to do with the gun is push the door all the way open. So everybody behind me has got a full view of what they can see through the door.
Okay, and so when you open the door, and they can tell that there's 4 or 3 more of you, they to get a little bit of a shock, but she sort of like maintains where she is, but she seems very intimidated. But she's just sort of standing where she is. But you get the impression that she's deliberately trying to put herself between you and the rest of the women.
As I'm backing out, I want to say too, we are not with these men. We killed these men because they're bad. We're not here to hurt you.
Just for the sake of reference, this is what she looks like. It's in the text channel, and she doesn't say anything, and she just she kind of like nods her head yes, and just sort of like she's still got her hand up, like she's trying to imply that she doesn't really need you to get any closer.
Come on out. Come on out of there.
Guys.
We're not going to hurt you.
Ladies love magic. I think it's the best way to diffuse a situation. I could do like a simple card trick.
Pull a rose out of a hat or whatever.
Yeah, I could do that.
I just yell past
seem on edge.
Everyone. I yell past everyone into that room. Listen, all the men on this ranch are dead. We killed all these men. All these cannibal, people-eating men are dead. So, I don't care if they were your husbands, fathers, what the fuck they were. They're all dead now. We ain't gonna hurt you, okay? We're just letting you know. You can stay in that room and die or come on out and live your lives, but we'll leave you alone. We just want you to know, are there any other prisoners here? Are there any other people y'all were gonna eat? And if so, take me to them now, and I promise you we will not hurt you.
I want to nudge Dorian while this is happening and say, like, watch that side. I'm watching this side of this building. So effectively, we can watch the sides of the building.
Excellent idea.
She doesn't really respond. I mean, she hears everything you're saying, and she kind of like turns away from Marcus and away from the door and faces the rest of the women. And she says,
Oh shit.
Hey Bunk, I think she's deaf.
Yeah, I got that. I don't speak fucking sign language. Any of y'all speak sign language?
My question is, Greenlee, did you learn sign language and you're actually like using American SL right now, ASL for this? That's why you asked.
That's why I asked. That's why I asked if any of you were fluent in ASL. Yes, I literally went on YouTube and learned all of the signs for everything I'm about to communicate to you tonight.
Nice.
And so to that extent, to the one person that's watching, if you happen to be fluent in ASL and I am fucking all of this up, my sincerest apologies, but I am making a genuine effort to do it correctly.
Throw it in the chat.
Anyway.
Okay. So she's turning and talking to all these women in ASL.
Mm-hmm.
I say, that appears to be sign language. Can you all hear me, or do you read lips? I say while her back is turned.
She just while her back is turned. Well, while your back is turned. So she looks at she looks at Marcus and she's like,
oh, so you can't hear me? Okay. Do they
Can't speak.
Are they deaf?
Who are you who is asking this question, and who are you asking this question?
I am asking the lead woman who has given the ASL to everybody, and I'm pointing to all the other women, and I'm pointing. Can they hear me as well, or are they deaf? Are they deaf? Do they understand me when I talk? Okay.
Can you do this?
So she opens her mouth, and when she opens her mouth, you can distinctly tell that her tongue has been cut out.
Oh my God.
And she sort of like nudges the rest of them, and they all open their mouth, and all of them have their tongues cut out.
Nope.
Bunk is visibly disgusted and distraught by this.
And she looks at you, and
so,
she seems puzzled. She's like, she kind of twists her head as if like she's like, I don't understand. She doesn't say that obviously because she doesn't have her tongue cut. She's got her tongue cut out, but like that's like the impression that you get.
This is a horrible thing that these men have done to you and cut your tongues out.
And she sort of like twists her head again, and she's like, and she kind of like she goes to like this little area in the it's in like a small corner of the kitchen, and she grabs a book and she starts flipping through it, and she's sort of like scanning the page, and she's like, she hands it to you, and she points, and what you realize, this is a King James version of the Bible, and she is pointing to 1 Timothy chapter 2 verse 12. And when you read it, you see that there's an underlined, that it's underlined. And it says, I suffer not a woman to teach, nor to usurp authority over the man, but to be in silence. And she points to it, and she goes,
This is not what my God would want for any of his creations. I say to this woman.
and she hears what you says, and she's like, and she turns to the rest of the women, and she's like,
Thank God.
I don't know what she said, but y'all are free now. There are no more men to rule over you, just you to rule over yourselves. We're not here to stay. We killed all those men because they were eating people, which is not okay. We're here to find anybody that y'all plan to eat. Don't do that anymore. But y'all are free now. We're going to search the rest of these grounds, and we're going to find if there are any more captives. Then we'll be on our way. But you ladies are free now. You're more than welcome to come out. We won't bother you.
So she kind of shrugs her shoulders. She seems completely confused by the idea that you're presenting to her. And she just sort of shrugs her shoulder, and she kind of like, she's like, gives you this like, is it okay if I get close to you? She's like, and she's just sort of like giving you like these reassuring eyes as though she wants to like approach you.
Marcus, I'm in the room. Is Bunk in the room with me now?
I would assume so.
Yeah.
I mean, he's talking to these women.
Okay, yeah. I want to, like, if I'm still in front of him, I kind of want to just like put my arm out to be like, I'm no longer a Christian, but I was before all this. If I remember that verse correctly, I don't like. I kind of want to back out of the room with him, and if I can, the ladies give us a moment, and I want to kind of pull the door closed, if I can, and be back outside.
Okay. I mean, yes, you're allowed. If what you're saying is you want to leave the because like right now you're in like a kitchen. It's like a large kitchen.
Okay.
And if you want to go back out the front, you're more than welcome. But she's like, Bunk is talking to her and explaining like this idea of freedom, and she just kind of approaches, and she's like giving these hands as if to like she's trying to communicate. It's like, is it okay if I get near you?
And Mark is seeing that. Say, we're here to help. We're here to help. Just give us a moment. What happened outside here, we don't want you to see. Just give us 1 moment. We'll be right back. and I definitely want to pull the door closed.
Okay.
If Bunk will go with me.
Funk starts walking out of the room with him, but is just captured by the woman's eyes and the sad look in her eyes while she's like kind of coming towards him, and then just kind of pushes Marcus away and kind of steps forward towards this lady.
Okay. As she gets closer to you, she sort of points at like your face where you've got where you've been like smashed in the face with Kittredge's rifle, and she's just like,
I just kind of stand there and I don't do anything.
okay. So she just sort of holds her as if to say, stay here. She goes she goes under the sink. She kind of opens the cupboard underneath the sink, and she pulls out what looks like a first aid kit. And she comes over to you, and she shows you what she's holding. She's holding like more Bactine, but she's basically she's implying that if you'll allow her, she will tend to the wounds that you have in your face.
I kind of give her a little nod. Okay.
And so, she takes some antiseptic wipes and sort of like cleans out the cuts. She's got this little irrigation tool. She sort of flushes any of the dirt and filth out of one of the open wounds. She applies like this antibiotic ointment, and then she bandages your face, and she sort of nods her head and she's like,
thank you.
And she kind of like points out the door.
Yeah. You're free to go. We're leaving. We're gone.
She wants to help anybody else. Is there anybody else to help?
Oh yeah. We have a guy. We have to go shoo the dogs away from Peter. I say yes, follow me. I can just like I kind of snap out of it and remember like, oh, Peter, yeah, follow me.
She seems really hesitant to leave.
Okay.
She's like,
okay. Somebody help me drag Peter's lifeless body in here, please.
They're not gonna carve him up and eat him, are they?
No, we have guns and we're watching. We're gonna make sure they don't kill him. She helped me. I trust her. I don't think these women, I think they've been forced into a life of servitude here, and I don't think they know much else. And now that we killed their masters,
I'll help drag Peter. Does Bunk get any health back for that?
yeah.
we
Let
gotta
me.
get Peter up.
Yeah.
We
So
gotta help Peter up.
definitely, Bunk gets 3 more health back from that. She restores 3 more health points to you.
Give me some of that Bactine.
So did you guys bring Peter back in to the house?
Yes.
Okay. So as you guys drag Peter into the house, as you guys are bringing
Ryan,
him,
hang on.
Yeah.
Ryan, if I can, like while we were doing that, Marcus wants to explain to the group. I'm assuming we're out of earshot of the women in the house. Like, I want to explain to them what I was like cautious about is, like, guys, again, grew up around the Bible, the verse, like seeing it again. It makes me wonder if these women were hostages of these men, and their tongues were cut out because a woman is below a man, according to that verse, or if these women are brainwashed by these men. And that was my fear. I wanted to just say to everybody, I've got a background with the Bible, And that verse in my household was a woman listens to the man and does not, tell him her opinion. That would make me worried that these women, if they've been here these 300 days or longer, um, that was Marcus's reason for hang on. I just want to talk to the group. So that was my fear.
That they're
Yes.
It's not
brainwashed.
It's not.
They're like
It's not
brainwashed
just-
hostages.
Their men. It's just any man that they're subservient to. Correct.
You don't know. I mean, all she did was point to that Bible verse. But based on what you can gather, this is and this is just based on the slight interaction that you've had. She is either suffering from a massive case of Stockholm syndrome, or she is just so grateful for the fact that you guys have come and eliminated this subjugation, that she's grateful, but you don't know which yet. But that's that's sort of the impression that you're gaining from this interaction so far.
Funk says regardless, if either of those things are true, either she's a true believer and brainwashed, or she just has in either case, she deserves our pity. This woman has lived a life of fucking horrors.
Well, we also can't leave them here for the Vanguard to find them either, because that's going to be probably a more worse fate with 3 young women, like an army of dudes.
What are you gonna do? What are we gonna do? I mean, we can leave them here on their ranch to do whatever, and the Vanguard will probably come take them over. We could assimilate them into the Vanguard thing. I mean, we can't take them on. Like, they can't come with us. And
Yeah, I mean, to be clear, there's 8 of them. Like that would be there's more of them than there are of you.
Ranging from 13 on, like, there's no way we could shepherd all these people to safety. Or could we? You want to change the game completely? Let's fucking do it. Bunk's down.
At any rate, as you guys drag Peter's unconscious body into the kitchen of this house, you see this woman. She looks relatively surprised. I mean, Peter's missing an eye. He's bleeding out of his face. She turns to the rest of the women. She's just like, the second oldest sort of like, she nods her head, and she sort of ushers the younger girls upstairs, and you can hear them. They're going upstairs. The steps are literally on the opposite side of the wall that's in the kitchen. And you can tell that she when she sees Peter, she kind of like gives you this look that like, oh, I didn't know you were going to bring somebody who's missing an eye. I thought you guys were just scraped up. But anyway, like, she's like, maybe I bit off more than I can chew. But she sees Peter, and she's a little taken aback at first, but then she sort of like composes herself, gathers a bit of composure. And you guys, how do you want to, like, what are you doing with his body? Are you just going to dump him on the floor of the kitchen? There's a big table. There's a big kitchen table in the middle of the room. And in fact, she actually points. She points to the table as if to say, put him on the table.
We like gently clear off the table and put the shit other places and set them up on the table, I think.
Okay.
And Marcus would like to say to the girls going upstairs, I'll come with you to help get supplies and everything.
Well, okay, you're welcome to follow them.
Okay. I would like to do that.
Okay.
Still being cautious.
Sure, and we'll cut to that for a second. And they're going up the stairs, and sort of as they get to the first landing, is when you kind of catch up to them, and they kind of look behind, and they don't seem fazed that you're following them, but they kind of walk back to this bedroom. The youngest girls kind of sit down on the floor in a circle, and they just sort of hold hands, and they close their eyes. And you get the impression that maybe they're just in prayer. And the oldest one, the oldest of that group, she's kind of sits in a rocking chair and closes her eyes, and she just starts humming like an old gospel tune. You recognize it. "O sacred head now wounded," I think is the hymn that she's decided to hum. Anyway, back downstairs. Peters, are you staying up there, or are you gonna stay with them? I mean, there's a whole upstairs to this place.
If I can, I'd kind of just poke my head in the room, kind of clear it, and then if looking back down the steps I just came up, if I can see anybody in my party, I'm just gonna kind of give them a motion of
No,
I'm gonna weep.
You don't see anybody. The access to the stairs is around a corner from the kitchen, outside the kitchen,
Okay.
and around directly outside of the kitchen is a big living room area, and then off to the side and behind the kitchen wall is where the stairs go up.
You're on your own, Marcus.
Yeah,
Fucking
you're
dead.
alone with 7 women aged 22 to 13. Anyway.
Okay, I guess I'll up here. I guess I'll try to weep because I'm still cautious.
Okay.
Don't really trust anything.
You're just talking about doing a cursory sweep of the rooms.
Yeah, just poke at any kind of room. If the door's opened, just poke my head in to see.
So,
but yeah,
you do find another bedroom. And the second bedroom looks to be like a master suite. And there's a bathroom attached to it. And there's nobody in either one of these rooms. That being said, as you described it, it's just sort of, you're just doing a quick scan to see if there's anybody else in the and there doesn't appear to be. The only people that are in this house other than you guys are these 8 women. Anyway, back downstairs, you guys chuck Peter's body on the table, and as you kind of throw his body on the table, you hear Peter go, he groans a little bit, and she does similar routine that she did with Bunk, where she's sort of cleaning out the wounds, and apparently at some point it is very painful for Peter, and he yells out, but just even the yelling out, the crying out causes him almost to immediately fall back unconscious. And she seems a little bit nervous, but then she takes some gauze, covers it over Peter's eye, and then she takes a warm cloth. I'm sorry, what do you want to do, Matt?
Get my multi-tool out and will this help? Are we gonna have to get a bullet out of his eye socket?
Yeah.
fuck yeah.
Who would like to remove she as she's cleaning out the wound and she's trying to put the gauze on, she realizes, oh God, the bullet is still in his eye socket. And she kind of motions to all of you, and she points to his eye, and you can see it. You can see a little
operation.
Yeah, you can see a little tiny, the butt end of this bullet. It's just sort of.
I'll do it.
You can do it? All right. So what I need you to do.
Are you sure your Parkinson's hands can handle that?
Give me a mobility
There's
roll.
one thing I got is fucking wits. What am I doing?
Mobility roll.
Oh, I got
mobility.
Yeah.
I've got mobility. Look at these steady magic hands.
I say, I didn't know it was gonna be. I take my multi-tool and I start, and I'm like, maybe you should do this, Dorian. I'm still kind of shook up from the adrenaline.
And I'll give you a +2.
Him,
Go ahead.
I want to give him some morphine so he doesn't wake up for this.
Oh, that's a good
Nice.
idea.
Yeah.
So, are you using somebody's multi-tool to do this, Dorian?
Yeah,
Okay.
I hand my multi-tool to Dorian. I was all set to do it, and just a bead of sweat is rolling out. I'm like, no, I'm visibly shaking. I'm like,
Okay.
I think your hands are better for this. And
Yeah,
I
Dorian.
hand him that and immediately take out my bottle of whiskey. And
Yeah,
take it.
yeah.
Dorian takes it and flips it through his fingers. He's like, "Yeah, I got this."
All right, so give me a mobility
Chose
roll.
wisely.
You get a +2 gear bonus with the multi-tool.
All right. Uh-oh, where are the dice? There we go.
I will help hold the head steady just in case he jerks it all from
What?
reflex. Yeah.
Does Dorian have any stress from the fight?
No stress.
Okay.
Wait.
I'm gonna fuck that up hardcore.
Okay, here we go.
That's a good call on that morphine, Matt.
Yeah.
Got some penicillin for afterwards, if there is an afterwards.
Yeah, that pain management for keeping him still is like a huge deal for surgery. Trying to work on somebody flailing doesn't work very well, I don't think.
My dice aren't working. Let me do my physical.
Oh, those physical dice.
Oh shit!
Is did dice
Channel
not rolling
physical.
tonight? No, it is. Okay.
Uh-oh.
That was just me. I just wanted to test it.
I don't have anything in the bottom of mine, so I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either.
I don't have like the dice
Really?
to like click and roll. Yeah.
Mine are, yeah,
Oh,
mine are
there-
showing
it
up.
has blank spaces, but as I roll over, it says undefined, 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 undefined.
So in the very
Weird.
top right corner, there's a D20 icon. Click on that.
Oh. Take a moment. Add all.
Yep.
Look at that. I added all the dice. Now they're there. I'm still pretty amped about you rolling physical dice, though, so I kind of want you to do that now.
Yeah.
And then
You got me excited
What's-
about that.
you said my gear bonus. I got gear bonus.
Yeah, +2 from the multi-tool that they sent over to you.
Okay. Okay. Jesus, that's a lot of dice. So I'm rolling 10.
Ooh.
Nice.
Come on, buddy. All on the floor.
I got 1, 2, 3, 4 sixes.
God damn. So,
Nice.
Hell yeah.
do you want? I mean, this is a fantastic success. Would you like to describe how well this goes?
Yeah, I would. All right. So yeah, he sees Bunk like shaking in his boots, and then takes a pull of whiskey, snags the multi-tool, and like gets in there nice and slow. And he's like so confident that he's gonna get this out. He like looks away at Bunk,
Doctor Strange.
just does a no look, and then pulls it out, and then drops it in his hand, and then makes it disappear.
That was awesome.
I love it. Perfect. So,
God damn.
even
God damn, Dorian, that's the best magic trick I've ever seen.
even the
Hopefully he
woman is
lives.
like impressed. She's like, she gives you like a little nod of approval. And then she goes back to cleaning out Peter's wound. She places the gauze back over his eye, tapes it up. And then she also grabs like a warm cloth. And she reaches into this cupboard above the sink, and she pulls out this jar. And it's filled with goop. But she smears the goop on the rag and just sort of places it over Peter's eyes. And as she places the rag over Peter's eyes, you can just hear Peter go. And she nods to all of you, and she's like,
All right. Get that ointment.
I'm gonna go ahead and give him some penicillin too. based on.
Yeah, did
field
we
surgery and
sterilize the
Yeah, I
the
don't think we
multi-tool?
did.
You just
No.
jam it right in. She sees Dorian and she notices that Dorian is a little banged up as well, and she extends an arm out to you, and she's like offering to help you as well, if you'll allow her. Okay. And she kind of, gives you the same routine that she gave Bunk, that she gave Peter. She cleans your wounds out, kind of tends to them, bandage you up a little bit, and she is going to restore 6 hit points, 6 health.
I am.
And then she kind of gets a little somber, and she sort of kind of points at all of you, and she says, she's like urgently, she's like trying to indicate that she means you, and she's like,
Do you have anything you can write it down for us?
We leave. We out of here.
she's not, you don't get the impression that she's urging you to leave. Like, she's not saying, hey, your time is up here, get the fuck out, now I've helped you, now leave. But she has like a sense of urgency where she's trying to direct your attention outside, and she keeps indicating like, and she's pointing outside.
Is there someone else out there? Is there someone else out there? Is it one of the men who lived here?
People trapped, people tied up, prisoners. Guys, I'm great at charades. I can do this.
Can you show us?
And she you get the impression that she's like, but she just
can't
points
leave
outside.
You can't leave your other.
What?
I don't know. Are
Do
they
you
your
know
sisters?
what building they're in?
And she points south, like directly south of the house. Or I'm sorry, directly south of the smokehouse.
So in that long one that we kind of just went through with the shit in there.
Yeah, the one that was if you're to look at the image that's in the 300 days, it's that barn that you guys like initially just kind of checked out but didn't really
Posted up
search.
against- Yeah.
Fucking knew it. There's gonna be a secret trap door underneath there. All right. Bunk hears that, and now he's had a couple pulls off that whiskey, and he's moving. I'm already moving.
Before we go, do you know anything about tunnels? Does this barn lead to tunnels?
She seems puzzled, and she's
Okay, don't worry about it. We're gonna go check it out.
okay.
So, Marcus, if you can hear us, we think there might be prisoners here. It's in the barn. We're gonna go look. Are you coming?
Greenlee, if any of my kind of poking around up here showed me anything that makes me think that there could be like a cult leader or like the main guy that's still alive, like around hiding, or am I just like?
I mean, do you want to search the place? Like, you kind of like checked it out for people, but you didn't really like search the place. You know, you just opened the rooms and made sure that there was nobody in there, but you didn't like actually like go through stuff and like search.
Still about a year and a half into D&D in my life, so I know never to split the party. So I want to reluctantly, I'm coming, but I still have got this feeling that there's something wrong with all this. So, but I'll come down the stairs and join. Yeah.
Peter's in there anyway, so we're coming back.
Yeah.
I'll join everybody.
Okay. So are you guys heading to the building that she sort of indicated?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And if I remember right, there were 2 doors on this that they could see before. So maybe 2 of us go to one side, 2 of us go to the other side.
Yeah, like if you look at the image, there's definitely a door on the north side and there's a door on the south. So it's like you could just drive a car straight through it.
Okay.
Ryan, in my searching, I didn't find any kind of weapons or anything like
Did you?
anything that would help.
I mean, nothing was laying out. I mean, did you want to
Okay.
go back upstairs and make like a concerted effort to search the upstairs?
I want to, but we can come back. At
Okay.
this point, I just feel like this main house, there's got to be like a shotgun or dude, but we can come back. I'm sorry.
Okay. I mean, totally up to you. I mean, your decision is completely valid if you want to like go with the rest of them to check out the barn.
Yeah, I don't want to. Unlike Dorian, I'm not like afraid that everybody's going to leave me if I fall asleep. But I just
sure.
I want to be with the group, with the sense of we're not done here, kind of thing.
Okay. Okay, so tell me how you guys want to enter this. How you guys want to enter the barn?
Bunk's already first in there. He's like a madman.
Okay.
I'm already. I didn't wait for anybody. I'm already out there in that fucking barn, frantically searching for trapdoors and shit on the floor, looking for anything I may have missed.
Okay.
I would run to catch up with him and pause at the door to take a better look around.
Okay. So, Bunk, as you're searching around, and I'm not going to make you roll for it because it's stupid. You know, it takes you a few minutes because like you're like stomping on the floor to find like a place where it's anything that would indicate a trapdoor, and eventually you do find like a small iron ring on the ground. It's kind of obscured. It's been covered in, hay and other detritus. But you try to open it, but it's locked.
I reached for my ring of keys.
Okay.
That I got off of Marvin.
Okay.
And I just start going one after another.
Yep.
I mean, I'm kind of frantic at this point trying to get in there.
So yeah, I mean, you try a couple of keys. The first two don't work. You get to the third one and you twist it and you hear it. The bolt unlocks and you take the lock off of this ring.
All right. I say I got it. And I take that one off, kind of throw it to the side. I make sure I take the keys out of it and throw the lock to the side. Put the keys back in my pocket and grab the ring and kind of just fling it open.
Okay. And as you fling it open, you can see there's a small set of stairs, not very deep. This is not a very big, but it's like a kind of like a root cellar. And it goes down. There's no light in here, but you can definitely tell that there are people in here, and they immediately start moving towards the far side of this cellar to try and get away from you. And you can hear one person just like, no.
All right. I come down and I'm saying, friendly. And I'm going down rifle first.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all prisoners? Is anybody armed down here?
And you hear a woman just crying, and then you hear a man's voice saying, "Are you one of them? Or are you here to get us out?"
No, we killed them all. Make sure everybody show me your hands. Make sure nobody has any weapons.
And so
everybody show me your fucking hands.
They show you their hands, and they're all shackled together, and then the chains are actually against the wall as well. So they're chained to each other, and then there's a set of chains that's attached to the wall. And as you're looking, you see there's a woman that's maybe in her mid-30s. There's a man who's roughly the same age. He is dressed in military outfit. And then the third person that's on this chain, he is unresponsive.
I say, is there any of your captors or is anybody down here?
No, it's just us. Get us the fuck out of here.
All right. I yell back up to everybody. We got some prisoners down here. I found some prisoners. Come on down.
And so you go down in there, and this woman is still just sort of like in a huddled mess. She's got her eyes closed. She doesn't even want to look. She's crying. She hasn't even spoken. She's completely terrified. The man is just like, he's urgent. It's like, get these fucking cuffs off me. And then again, there's a third person that's on the series of these chains that doesn't seem to be responding at all.
Does anybody come down there? Marcus
Yeah,
or
I'm with you. Is there any light?
There's no light other than the light that's coming in from the barn down into this room. So it's pretty dark down there.
Do we pass any like lanterns or torches or anything?
Does anybody have a
I
flashlight?
got a lighter.
Okay.
I got a lighter.
Yeah, and we'll just say that you fashion like some sort of torch somehow.
Indiana Jones torch?
Perfect.
Yeah.
Love it.
Bone and a rag? You got it. All right. I say I'm gonna I like make a motion. I'm like, I'm gonna unlock all their. I'm gonna let these people out, and I'm like fumbling with the keys. I'm like, give me your shackles.
What's the story with this guy that's not moving?
I think he's dead. Get me the fuck away from this guy. I'm fucking chained in this room, and I'm chained up next to a fucking dead guy, and I'm convinced I'm gonna be next anyway. Get me the fuck out of here.
Cannibals are dead. Who are you? Where'd you come from?
Private Tom Gentry, Vanguard, Fraser.
Okay, we rode in with Vanguard.
You call? Thank God.
Kittredge.
Are they here with you? Kittredge.
Kittredge is dead. He's
What?
dead. Yeah, Marvin or somebody else shot him. One of the guys from the ranch.
Fuck.
All
Okay.
the Vanguard that came with us died.
How?
Big
I don't fucking
firefight.
care. Just get me the fuck out of. Just please get me the fuck out of here.
I unlocked the lady first.
And she's still pretty much in shock, but you unlock her manacles, and she just sort of isn't really even sure what to do. Just like the existential dread that she's been suffering just prevents her from having any sense of cognitive ability to like make a decision. So she's like free, and she's just sort of standing there, and she's shaking and sobbing and trying to come to grips with like the experience that she's had.
Okay. Is it just me and Silas down there, or did Dorian come down to?
I'll kind of
Yeah.
usher her towards the steps for somebody to take her out, but I haven't.
Yeah.
Like my eyes are on this other guy the whole time.
Yeah.
The Vanguard?
Okay, that's all. I wanted to make sure that you guys are watching somebody's watching the Vanguard while I unlock it.
Okay.
So I unlocked the Vanguard as well. While I guess she's climbing up the ladder or whatever the hell, getting out of there.
Uh-huh. So you unlock this other guy. He's like, oh my God. And he's like rubbing his wrists. Like you can tell that like he's been locked up for a while. He's got like wounds around his arm where these manacles have sort of like worn away at some of his skin. And he's just like, I gotta get the fuck out of here. And he immediately just starts running up the stairs. He gets out into the barn. He's just like,
I get it.
And then there's just this one last guy who's chained in here, and he is lying there lifelessly.
I'll undo his shackles, and I kind of check his pulse and kind of nudge him a little bit.
Okay.
See if I can.
So after you undo his shackles, you kind of roll him over onto his back, and you get to you try and check his pulse. And as you're checking his pulse, you look at his face, and it dawns on you that you recognize this face, and this is Dr. Thaddeus, the man that you assumed was only a few days behind you in the wilderness. Was apparently captured by cannibals and died in his captivity.
Oh no.
He's whole. He was not eaten, but unfortunately he is dead.
Ah, shit. He is dead. Those cannibals
Wait,
finally fucking got him.
Is that Jeremy's character?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't remember because I wasn't around for that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this is Jeremy's old character.
It's before Dorian too, so. But not McCully.
Guys, this guy sewed me up like a fucking drunken master surgeon after I got shot in the chest. This was a good man.
I kind of do the sign of the cross, and I kind of throw him over my shoulder, and I climb out of the thing with him, and take him all the way out of the barn and just kind of lay him out in the middle of the sun so we can kind of have a look at him.
And oddly, you know, as you're kind of looking at him, he's definitely dead. He's been dead, you would assume, at least a full day. But as he's sort of laying on his back, sun's shining on him, he looks weirdly at peace.
Well,
All right.
I don't care about these other people, but we got to bury him. We need this man. He was a good man.
Yeah. Before we get to that, let's talk to Gentry.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm all
see?
for burying
Yeah.
him.
Do we see this Vanguard dude?
Yeah, I mean, he's out.
Or
He
what-
didn't like try and make a run for it or anything like that. I mean, he's just out there and he's just sort of like pacing back and forth, like he's trying to pull his shit together, but he's understandably shaken.
Ask
Hey,
him. Oh, go ahead.
Gentry, we'll see if we can get, I give him some water, and I'm like, here, I'd love to know how you got into this situation, because we were trying to help the Vanguard and Fraser sort of do an investigation, and it kind of went to shit.
So, he's just like, I don't know. I mean, I was pulling guard duty at the checkpoint at the south end of Fraser. It was an overnight post. And then out of nowhere, I get cracked in the back of the skull and bagged, thrown over my head. I get dragged down into these tunnels, and it's pretty foggy about it. I don't really remember a lot of details. Next thing I know, I'm being chucked into a root cellar in a barn and chained to a wall.
Oh,
Bunk goes over and kind of takes the bottle of whiskey off of his back and says, "Go on, have a drink. Have a drink. Get your nerves about you."
He does. He takes a big old pull on this thing. And it hits him and he's just like,
So how long you been down there, son?
I mean, I don't know. There was no light. I couldn't. I wasn't able to tell how many. If I had to guess, 3 days. But that's just a guess. I mean, when there's no sunlight and everything is just dark, you kind of just lose track of time and start to. The only thing you have is the maddening silence of your own thoughts.
Were there any more people down there with you that got taken away?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. There was another guy. He got taken away. He never came back. I can't imagine anything good happened to him. I have some thoughts.
yeah, we may have seen what happened to him in the smokehouse. I don't think you should go in there.
And he just sort of
Kinda look-
closes his eyes and he's just like,
I kinda look
Can
over
Marcus?
Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I think Marcus and Dorian are still upstairs. We're not down there with him, or can we hear the conversation?
I mean, as far as I know, all of you have left the cellar. That's kind of the operation.
Okay, so we're all in the same room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Marcus just wants to ask, who chained you up down here?
I don't know. Some rancher. I didn't ask his name.
But it was the guy.
Yeah. Some ranch hand.
I look over at Dr. Thaddeus and I say, "When did they bring him in? Were you already down there?
Yeah, they brought him in after me.
Did you get to
Son of a
speak with
bitch.
him?"
We weren't far behind him then.
Nobody really talked much. We basically just prayed for quick deaths.
Well, that was a good man right there. We're gonna bury him. You're gonna help us.
He's like, fair enough.
We knew this man.
So
And I kind of motion. I kind of hand him the bottle one more time after I took a pull.
He's
I
like,
hand the bottle to him, and I kind of motion over to Sergeant Kittredge, and I say, "That's Sergeant Kittredge over there. There was a hell of a firefight that took place here. You can see everybody that got killed."
and
But,
he seems like weirdly he recognizes Kittredge, and he's like, yeah, but like, I think the idea that he has cheated death, so to speak, from his captivity means more to him than Kittredge's death. He's like, yeah, that's terrible, but I gotta admit, I'm just glad to be alive right now.
So I kind of look at everybody else, and I kind of exchange glances with everybody else.
Mhm.
And then I kind of look back at this guy, and I say, well, I think two of the Vanguard guys, I think they took off when everything started. So I don't believe it'll be very long before this place is swarming with Vanguard.
It's like, yeah, I hope so.
We have wounded in there, and there were some women, about 8 women in there that were basically held captive here. They've had their tongues cut out. They've been living a life of servitude here. I don't know what's going to happen to them, but you think the Vanguard will take care of them? What do you think will happen?
I mean, everybody always has an opportunity to be of service in the Vanguard. I mean, they are women, but everybody has an opportunity to provide service.
Will they be safe in Fraser?
I don't have any reason to think they wouldn't.
Okay.
I'm sure
Well,
they'll
the
be
reason
provided an
I-
opportunity to be a good wife to somebody in the traditional values of the Vanguard.
Well, sir, the reason I'm telling you this is I'm not certain we're going to stick around and wait for you Vanguard buddies to get back. We were maybe fixing to make our way north and keep moving to somewhere new, somewhere different. We didn't
He's
plan
like,
on settling in
Wyoming? So like Wyoming or something?
yeah, maybe.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe we keep on going.
There's a good Vanguard presence in Wyoming as well. You'll fit right in. You guys seem to be a strong character.
That we are, but we're more into freedom and maybe the wilds of non-Vanguard territories is what we're after. We're off to kind of make our own way.
He seems kind of confused by what you're saying, but he's like, I mean, whatever. I honestly don't care.
Gentry, to be honest, I am fairly convinced that Sullivan was helping these ranchers.
He's like, there's no way.
Sullivan knew
There's
about the tunnels
no way.
that we found the first set of cannibals at.
He keeps shaking his
And-
head. The more you speak, go ahead. I mean, go ahead though.
You said you got hit from behind and you were on guard duty. Who could have hit you from behind but more Vanguard?
Oh, come on, man. Don't even do this. Don't even suggest it.
I'm pretty sure that's who's behind this.
You say that to him, and he starts getting really enraged, and he's like, how dare you insinuate the Vanguard might be behind this? Are you
I've heard
trying to
enough.
tell
I shoot him in
me?
the head.
You what?
I shoot him in the head.
Fuck yeah.
I've heard enough. He's done.
You do. I mean, you put one right in his brain, and he just collapses in a heap.
He was supposed to help us bury that guy. Now we got to dig the hole all ourselves.
I know what Vanguard life is. I saw my mother, like, get fucking brainwashed by these asshats, and the way he talked about those women in there, he wasn't ever gonna see anything of it. Anything besides blind loyalty to the Vanguard.
Bunk has his face
Conversation
spattered
over.
with that dude's blood. Like, I was close enough that it just...
Oh, yeah.
Bunk doesn't even flinch. Bunk just takes another pull off the whiskey.
Perfect.
He just...
Go ahead.
That's exactly where Bunk's brain was.
Okay. I love it. That takes a lot of pressure off of me to figure out what I was going to do with this NPC.
Bunk turns to Silas and says, I'm going to look for a shovel.
All right. And yeah, I mean, it doesn't take you long. I mean, the truck that's right there, if you look at the image, the truck that's parked right there at the end of the barn, I mean, it's got like 2 shovels, a post hole digger, plenty of ranch tools. So if you're so inclined, you definitely have the tools at your disposal to...
yeah, I'll help.
Okay.
While we're digging this hole, if we're all out there, I say, I don't see any kind of life for these women with the Vanguard.
Silas, don't shoot them, please.
No, I'm not shooting them.
Okay.
I don't know what the answer is, but like I don't think the Vanguard is where they should be.
I agree, but
Mark?
Bunk says, I agree, we'll talk about this in a minute. And he's getting a little sloshed at this point. And while you guys are standing there, he takes that Vanguard dude you just shot, throws him over his shoulder, and walks back to the place where we took him out of. And I walk back and I lay him down and I shackle his hands back and lock the shackles and leave him down there. And then turn around and come back up.
That's dark, man. That's fucking sinister. I love it.
I like it.
Marcus, you were getting ready. You said you were getting ready to say something.
Yeah, I was. Yeah, I forgot what I was going to say because I was entrenched in what was happening.
About the women?
No, I can't remember shit. I'm sorry.
All right,
All right.
no worries.
Buddy texted me about wedding shit. Sorry.
So go ahead.
I would suggest, like, I don't know if it'll matter at this point, but if it's possible that there was any communication between, like, I was not bullshitting that guy. I truly do believe that Sullivan and this guy Marvin were connected somehow. So if there's any communication between them, at the very least, I would like to know. And it may, sort of shape the way we want to act next, and possibly if we want to get any word to Grace, because, I mean, she may be involved in the fallout of this.
Yeah, I mean, Grace was the one that set this whole thing up for you guys.
Yeah.
I agree, and I say now we know what we're looking for. Let's find some proof. Let's find some correspondence between Marvin and what's his fuck there.
Okay.
And I turn to Marcus and I say, "Did you search the upstairs yet, where you were with them girls?"
I mean, there's also another building outside that you guys haven't searched yet as well.
Right, that's what I was gonna say. Is I'm gonna go search that building over there. You go on, search that building up there. We don't have a lot of time, I don't think, before these Vanguard come back. And I know it ain't great to split up, but we're all within hollering distance of one another. So, anybody runs into anything, y'all yell.
I'll respond to Bunk and say I made a quick sweep, making sure there was no one up there hiding. but I would definitely love to go back and search because, in my opinion, that's the main house. And if there's anything that can help us or help the girl that were slave or indentured servant, we can find something there.
Okay, so if I understand, and I'm not trying to, Marcus is going to go back to the main house. The rest of you guys are going to go to this other building that you haven't searched yet.
I want to go back to the dungeon area with the torch light and do a quicker inspection around the area to see if there's anything that looks like of interest.
Okay, I mean, you are fairly certain that you've given a thorough inspection of this room, and it's just dirt walls. I mean, it's just dirt walls and a set of stairs. There's nothing in here other than the dead body that you created.
So if Marcus saw him like do that and come back out, did Marcus say like, Silas, you come with me, let's sweep this main house, and I remembered what I was going to say. Yeah. Marcus wants to look at the guys and say, if we want to help these women, we're going to get the fuck out of here before Vanguard comes back, and we're not going to trust the Vanguard with these women. If we can try to reconnect with the Crow Angels, I know that my people will help these women if they are who they say they are.
I think that's a good idea. Let's also be on the lookout for, like, is that truck serviceable that's over there that we found the shovel in? Like, let's figure out an exit strategy, or is it like, let's find the horses? We got to get out of here somehow.
Bunk kind of fumbles at this point because he's a little buzzed through all these keys and sees if he finds like a truck key on there.
Nothing. You don't see anything that would look like a car key of any kind.
There's no truck key on there, but we can figure it out. We can get it running.
I can hotwire it.
I love that. I love that.
Yeah. I'm gonna check out. Dorian, you want to come with me? Let's go check out this other bunkhouse. Let's figure out these Vanguard's eating people too.
Hell yeah.
Okay. So as Bunk and Dorian start heading over to this other last building, the woman, she's like, I'm gonna go with you guys, and she follows you two.
She spoke.
Yeah, she spoke. Girl. Like this is the woman that was in the dungeon.
Other girl. Okay. Yeah.
And she's like, I'm just gonna stay with you guys. I don't know that I want to go in that house. I'll go in this other. I'll just come with you guys. But like I'll just stay with you guys.
Yeah. They might cut out your tongue if you go in there.
She's like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
That's what they do.
So we'll
I'm
do
just
that.
Being honest with you, lady.
We'll assume that you guys are both sort of heading to the different buildings, and we'll just kind of assume that these things are happening simultaneously. But we'll do the building you guys haven't been in yet first. So you guys get to this building, and you can tell that this is sort of like the bunkhouse for all the ranch hands. There's literal bunk beds set up in. There's like people have like personal foot lockers, but this is clearly like a bunkhouse for the ranch hands.
All right. I start looking around and kind of just tossing the beds and seeing trunks. So they're just tossing the shit, looking for anything of interest. I'm looking for keys to the truck. I'm looking for correspondence.
Give me an observation roll. Give me an observation roll.
There we go. I got one.
Yeah, you got 1-6. I think you have a different dice setup.
I just clicked whatever you had in there.
I mean, I have 3 different dice sets available for this room. But anyway, yes, you do have a 6. Did you just get 1? 1 6. So give me a single d6 roll.
Okay. Oh, fuck. Okay. 1 single d6. Phew.
Holy shit. Okay. So you're sort of tossing the room around. This couldn't have gone any better. Jesus Christ. And in one of the dresser drawers, you find what looks like a really crude hand-drawn map. And just initially just looking at it, it just kind of looks like a rough hand-drawn sketch of like the trail networks around the Fraser Valley. But you do notice that there are 2 spots labeled with an exclamation point and 1 spot on the map that's labeled with an X. And when you flip it over on the back, you see something written on the back. It's in terrible chicken scratch handwriting. But as far as you can make out, it seems to read, and I'm going to put this in the chat so you can see literally how it's spelled. Not the chat, but the text channel. And so phonetically, you think it's... Yeah. I mean, that's what you think it says.
Good Zoloto.
Anyway, I'm assuming Dorian is doing the same thing. He's tossing the room, looking for stuff.
Yes.
Right? Do the same thing. Give me an observation roll.
All right. Observation. Six.
Perfect. Yeah. With just 1 6, give me a single d6 roll. 4.
Oh.
So as you're looking around, you're kind of looking through somebody's footlocker, and you find this little tin. And when you open it up, you realize that it's like a shaving kit. And inside there's like this pretty fucking dull straight razor, but there's also a small mirror and just the smallest sliver of shaving soap that's left. Like, you get the impression that if you use this thing, it'll be the last time this soap is going to be usable. But it's all...
so it's just a little bit. Okay.
Yeah, it's all in like a little case, though. It's in like this nice decorative tin. You get the impression that when it was first bought, this probably cost a certain amount of money. Like, it looks, when it was brand new, it would have been really posh. But now it's just like rusted, and the razor's fucking dull. Like, you couldn't even cut yourself with this razor. It's so dull.
Oh. Well, I will pocket it anyway.
Okay. And then while you guys are doing this, again, these two things are happening simultaneously. So Marcus and Silas get to the house, and you open the kitchen door, and you see the woman. She's sort of surprised as you come in, but she still seems to be taking care of Marcus. Marcus still does not seem to be responsive yet. Or I'm sorry, Peter. Yes, Peter still does not seem to be responsive yet, but he's alive. You can tell he's alive. You can see him breathing. She just sort of nods her head at you, and you can tell that she's sort of trying to ask you a question. She's like,
"We found the prisoner, if that's what you're asking. There were 2 were still alive. 1 was one of the other kind of bad men, the Vanguard. And he was threatening in a way where he looked like he was going to come unhinged, and he is no longer with us."
She looks at you, and she gets a serious look in her eyes, and she's just like,
"I've seen what Vanguard do. I wasn't going to let him do that to you and the other women here."
So she gets a bit of a somber look on her face, and she just sort of
There
then
was
she just
another
goes-
man.
Oh, go ahead.
There was another man, and he was already dead. We actually knew him. We didn't do that one. He was our friend. I think Marvin and his buddies killed that one.
She just sort of shrugs her shoulders as if to say, I guess that's how life goes. But anyway, she just she turns her attention back to Peter.
Say thank you for taking care of our friend there.
She kind of looks at you and she's just... Anyway.
All right. Let's go look for evidence.
Yeah, like I'd like to go back upstairs and back into that room that looked like a master bedroom.
Okay.
With the bathroom, and I want to like search vigorously.
Okay, give me an observation roll.
I'm gonna pee real quick. What do you guys do that?
It says I can use my empathy with my gut feeling that I learned last time from the doctor, over wit. So that'll give me.
But it's under specific circumstances. You're talking about the gut feeling.
Oh, it's approaching threat. You're right.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
So for just searching
observation.
stuff, it's still going to be observation. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm also searching.
Okay.
Do I need to roll stress dice with that, or is this
Not
in the same?
I would say that like this is not. I mean, no. I'll say that stress doesn't apply here. This is more of like a.
I got 2 6s.
Okay, so we'll go through what Marcus finds first. Marcus, which room are you searching right now?
Well, I hit the roll button, but it's not showing me what I rolled.
You got 1 success.
Okay. Yeah, it's still like taking for me.
Okay. I don't know. I can tell you that you have 1 success. So, which room are you in?
I was wanting to go back to that master bedroom that you described that had a bathroom off of it.
Yep.
Just I'm wanting to go through like under the bed, like dresser drawers if I can.
Okay. Yeah. So in the master bedroom, you're going through everything. You're pulling drawers open. You're looking in the desk, and you open the closet, and hanging on a hanger, you see what you distinctly identify as an aramid fiber vest, which is the generic name for Kevlar. I'm not sure. I don't want to get sued by DuPont or Monsanto, whoever owns it, but like... and if you put that in your gear, that would provide you an armor rating of 2.
Fuck yeah.
Okay.
And
armor
Marcus,
rating again?
it's just a piece of gear. You would just it's not going to be specifically on the character sheet. So
the bonus is a 2.
Bonus is 2, and we'll get to how armor works the next time we're in a fight. I'll explain it to you.
Okay,
Just remind me that you have a vest.
My camo jacket and my down jacket that I both have are also a bonus of 2. Would a Kevlar not be better than that?
This is an armor rating. It's not a roll. You found a Kevlar vest. It's specifically used to armor you in combat. So when we get to that, I'll explain it to you how it works. Just remind me that you have it.
I'll put it in my backpack.
Okay. Marcus, or I'm sorry, Silas, you're looking through stuff as well. You find a massive cache of ammunition. You don't see any weapons, but just intuitively you're like, well, all the weapons are probably out front with all the dead guys. But there is a very large cache of ammunition. And give me, let's see, give me some sort of roll, because I want to see how much you can carry. How much ammunition you can carry. You know what? Fuck it. I'll just say that you just like start hoarding enough ammunition that by the time you get back and distribute it out, everybody can bump their ammunition die up by 1 tier.
Nice.
2. Like that.
And let's see. Okay. So has everybody had a chance to like search whatever rooms they've been going through? Okay. Cool.
Yeah, is there... We went through the house due north and the one northeast and the barn, which had the people in it. Did we go in the one in the northwest?
That was the first one you went to. Or the northwest is the main
smokehouse.
house. Yeah, you guys have been in all 4 buildings at this point.
Okay. All right.
So after you guys have gone through and sort of searched the bunkhouse, and Marcus and Silas are upstairs sort of searching through the rooms upstairs, all 4 of you hear the unmistakable sound of a shotgun blast. And Marcus and Silas, you can tell that this shotgun blast came from downstairs.
Did Peter just get it?
Good.
All right. Let's
Nastorovia, Peter.
Run down there and check it out.
All right. Tell me how you want to do this. Who's going down the stairs first? Oh, I'm assuming you're going to rush towards the sound, or are you what's the plan?
Bunk's got drunk. I'm rushing towards the sound.
If from the sound we knew it was a shotgun blast, I'm choosing to be a little bit more stealthy than just run towards the fucking blast zone of a shotgun.
Mm-hmm.
Bunk isn't. Bunk's drunk and Bunk has adrenaline, and he hears
And
that, and I'm ready to rock.
Okay.
Dorian knows that, and so he tries to trip him up to make sure he doesn't just run in guns blazing and get shot. So
So Bunk is trying to run towards the house, and Dorian is trying to trip him up.
yeah, I want to trip him up and slow him down.
I need both of you to roll mobility rolls for me. Dorian, since you are the attacker, so to speak, you're going to have to roll more successes than Bunk.
0 successes.
No success.
So I just got to roll 1.
You just got to roll 1. Oh, you rolled
2, 3,
many
4.
6s.
4.
Yeah. So Bunk is just like, you can tell he cannot wait. He's like a rabid dog ready to charge into that kitchen, and you just kind of like kick his leg out from underneath him, and Bunk, you just fall flat on your face and just eat shit in the middle of this fucking doorway. We'll come back to you guys. Marcus and Silas, what are you guys doing?
Again, the blast came from down below us.
Downstairs.
In the same, yeah. So we weren't in the same room.
No. You guys were upstairs.
Okay. So I want to come out in the hallway or the landing and find like with Silas and like look at him and be like, you look down the step and I'll cover from above. If that's good, and throw him a thumbs up. Like, if you understand what I'm saying. Actually, fuck it. I know I want to be like, dude, like, what's going on down there? I've got your fucking like cover. Fuck being silent at this point. The shotgun blast just went off.
So are you out in the hall now? You've left the master bedroom, you're out in the hallway?
Yeah. I've when I was searching that bedroom, I didn't come across anything that showed signs of someone hiding in that room.
No,
I am
you found
highly-
a Kevlar vest and no people.
Can I throw that Kevlar vest at Silas
Okay.
and be
Yes.
like, put this on and look down the fucking step?
Okay.
I will cover you.
Human shield here.
I
Yeah,
love that.
I am wearing a Kevlar vest.
Okay. So when are you going out into the hallway?
I will peek out into the hallway real quick and see what I see.
So when you peek out into the hallway, you can see the other doorway where the women were sort of like, where Marcus saw them were in prayer, so to speak. And you can see like the second oldest is standing in the door jamb, and she's just got her arms crossed like this, and she just stares straight at you.
We could have killed these fucking women. I knew it.
She's just standing there, but she's not
She's
holding
just-
anything.
She's standing there. She's got her arms crossed. She's not threatening you with anything, but she is shooting daggers at you with her eyes.
So Greenlee laid out for us like we're all on the same floor. I'm in a room, Matt's in a room, and then these girls are in between us.
The girls'
Like,
room
do
is like
we
at
have-
the top of the stairs. You guys are down the hall from the top of the stairs. Silas, as far as I can tell, has just poked his head out into the hallway. She is standing in the door jamb. She's like standing with her back up against the door jamb. She's not standing in the hall attempting to impede you or block the way. She's just standing there. And she's got her arms crossed, and she is just staring at Silas.
So I would shout downstairs, "Hey, there's young women up here. Don't start firing guns. They're going to get hurt." I'm assuming I'm going to hear nothing because it's probably that fucking mute woman.
Yeah, you hear nothing in response. We'll come back. Dorian and Bunk. Bunk, you just got tripped up. You're on your fucking face in the middle of the ground. Dorian, you know he tripped you because it was unsubtle. How do you guys want to play this out?
I want to say after he falls, I want to like pick him up and dust him off, and I will say, "Easy there, partner. I like my friends bullet free. Why don't you let me make the grand entrance this time?"
Somebody's in danger.
I know.
Come on.
But let's go, but don't go rushing in there drunk. We got to see what's going on first.
Come on.
And the woman's just like, why don't we just get the fuck out of here while we can? Why are we running
lady,
towards the gunshot? Let's just go.
He looks
All
back. He's
right,
like,
come on.
he looks back. He's like, sometimes that's what heroes got to do. And he flings his coat over and starts running towards the gunshot.
She looks incredibly confused. She's like, but then you're running towards you start running towards the house?
Yeah.
Is Bunk following?
Yeah, Bunk's following. At the same time, he's kind of like pulling his 9mm out from his waistband.
Okay. Back to Marcus and Silas.
I will ask the girl standing in the doorway to go check what's going on downstairs.
And she just sort of looks at you. She doesn't flinch. She doesn't change her. She just stares at you. Actually, she does do something. She goes,
Yeah.
and then she goes
sorry.
like this.
I don't know what that means.
Okay,
Oh, great.
so
She just
Marcus
fucking
wants-
touched me.
Yeah, Marcus wants to come from where he's at and pull the door that she's standing in shut and like hold that and like say to Silas, like, get a look down the stairs. If you've got a shot, take it. These girls are taking us out.
So I'm assuming what you mean is that you've run past Silas into the hallway. You've pushed this woman out of the door and pulled it shut and you're holding it closed.
Oh shit! I thought I was on the opposite side. Yeah, I want to, if I can, get her into that room with
Okay.
the other girls and hold the door.
Yeah, I mean, yes, you succeed. This happens. What does Silas want to do in response? Like, she doesn't even fight you. Like, you effortlessly shove her directly into the room. She kind of falls on her butt a little bit, but like, you almost get the impression that when she falls on her butt and she kind of looks up at you, that she's giving you this very coy grin, and then you close the door. You got it held shut.
They're the leaders. They're the ones doing all this.
What does Silas want to do?
I want to walk, or kind of slowly make my way closer to the stairs, and stop where I just get a look down, see if there's anything moving down there.
So you can barely catch the floor of the entry into the kitchen, and you can distinctly see blood on the floor.
Yeah, Peter's dead. I tell Marcus, there's all kinds of blood on the floor. At this point, I'm assuming Peter got shot. So
He did.
Let's see. I wish I had that grenade. I would just fucking waste it on her. Was there a grenade in the ammunition cache? Was there a flashbang or anything?
There was not, unfortunately.
All right, so
Let me give you one more chance to decide how you want to move, and then I'm gonna move it back to Bunk and Dorian.
I want to whisper real quick, so in a voice that I think the girls can't hear. Marcus, how do you feel about throwing one of those girls down the steps?
I have been suspicious of these bitches the whole time. I'm ready for it.
All right. Back away from the door and open and see what comes out.
Okay, so hearing what he said, I want to drop to my butt, extend my legs, kicking the door open with my 9mm pointed at eye range, because I've got a little bit of a background in opening cells, and so I'm able to do that.
Okay, so just describe to me one more time. You're on your butt opening the door?
Yeah, so I dive backwards onto my back/butt with my right leg extended, kicking the door open, and I've got my gun extended, my 9mm pointed at anything that might come at me.
I'm standing there pointing in the same direction.
How are you opening the door?
I'm kicking it.
Oh, you're kicking it open.
I didn't think it was shut. Like, we'd pulled it, but it was still ajar. So kicking it would still.
Oh, I mean, you can. I'll
it.
just say that you can kick the door open if you want to. I mean, when you said that you were pulling it closed to hold it closed, I assumed that you were pulling it closed. Anyway,
I just thought it was an old farmhouse that the hinges were old, but yeah,
whatever.
I'll
So you're kicking the door open.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so as soon as you kick this door opens immediately. First thing you hear is a shotgun blast. It's right over your head. Had you opened the door standing up, you would have taken it directly in the face. What do you want to do?
I shoot in there. I just start shooting. Whatever I can see that's moving, I am shooting it.
Frank Reynolds, I just start blasting.
So just blind fire. Okay.
Yeah.
Give me a marksmanship roll. Don't forget you have the adrenaline rush, so you get a +2.
Like, for both of us or just him?
Just Silas. We'll do Silas first.
Okay.
As soon as I hear that gun blast, I'm shooting at the gun blast.
Okay.
All right. I got 1-6. No stress, no damage.
Roll damage.
Seven.
Jesus Christ. Okay, so you, after you just kind of like blind fire right into the room, just rattling them off, you distinctly hear you see like the second oldest was standing there with a shotgun. She crumples to the ground. She's done. The rest of the girls are just like in shocked, but they look angry at you. But none of them do anything.
So
We'll go back
and
to Dorian
that girl,
and what's that?
oh,
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I was just the girl that he shot. That like as soon as the door opened, was she holding any kind of weapon?
Shotgun. She was the one that was holding the shotgun. Yep.
Okay, that's okay.
Back to Dorian and Bunk. Dorian and Bunk, you guys have gotten to the kitchen door at this point. You've already heard a second shotgun blast, and you've heard more gunfire. Who's going in the door first?
Dorian was faster. Dorian's all the way at the door.
Yeah, because I tripped
He
him up,
literally
and he's
tripped
drunk.
me.
Okay.
Because
He
I
made
was
it there
I was
before
I
me.
was gonna
Monk would be there first.
I was gonna try and peek in the windows to see what was going on, but after I heard all the gunshots, I'm like, there's no point in like waiting. So I look back at since I beat him there, and I'm at the door getting ready to come in, and I look back at Bunk and I'm like, my name's Dorian. I'm about to show you why they call me Danger. And I pull out my gun, and first human I see, I pull the trigger. I don't even care who it is.
Okay. So as soon as you do me a favor, roll a d10.
Oh, detailed.
Give me your you can add your agility to it.
I can't see any of this happening. So
No,
this is
you,
like,
you guys are upstairs. You guys are still upstairs. All of this is happening simultaneously. All of this is happening.
I can't see anybody's rolls because my
5.
computer
So you got
said, fuck me.
a 10 total.
Yes.
Okay. Ooh. Okay. Give me an attack roll.
Come on.
So I was using my revolver.
I also forgot that I had that adrenaline surge, even though you reminded me directly before I rolled. And I rolled the 2 extra, and I got 1-6, so I'll pass that along.
Pass it. Yeah. Okay. Do it.
Okay, so it's marksmanship plus. Wait, no, it's just marksmanship.
Mm-hmm. You're going to get an extra
Plus the die
success
that I passed you.
that Marcus is or Silas is passing to you.
Oh yeah. And the bonus on the weapon is just a +1. Right? It's not an extra die.
Well, it's a gear die. I mean, it's a gear bonus.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Ooh,
I see 2 6s.
two 6s.
So I'm gonna roll for her to see. She only got 1 6. Go ahead and roll your damage.
2.
Dorian.
So the damage is if the damage says 2, it is 2d6.
No,
correct?
you roll 1d6 and you add 2 to that
Okay.
as your
Okay.
damage.
Been so long.
Since you were allowed to roll damage on 5
Yeah, exactly.
plus 2. Okay. So here's the other thing. You get your shot off first for sure. But because you guys were both, you had the same intent, I need you to roll a mobility roll for me.
I think you have pretty good mobility.
You're going to need more than one. I'm just saying.
Okay.
Oh, no.
Can I push it?
100%.
Yeah. So I got 2 1s. How many did I roll? 8. So that's still 6.
Yeah.
Plus your stress die.
Plus the stress.
Plus the stress die.
Add that stress. And then I'll add the die.
Shit.
Now I do have that nimble dexterity feat
Oh, okay.
feature.
Okay. So you're
So
you're gonna push it a second at a time?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do I take another stress on that one?
No, you only take 1 stress.
Okay, cool. How many 1s were there?
The last roll?
Just
Yeah.
one.
Bunch of 2.
One.
If you're re-pushing it, you don't subtract any of the ones. You're just re-rolling that whole play.
Oh, okay.
You're re-rolling your entire push roll.
Let's go, baby. I had so many 6s. I can't fail now. God damn it, dude.
So here's the good news is that because she
lay
took
off those
damage
big
first, her aim is skewed, but because it's a fucking sawed-off shotgun, you're gonna take some tangential damage. Fucking 1. So you're gonna take 1 point of damage. She
to me.
falls to the ground. She lays on her back, and she's just got blood. Well, do you want to describe the injury? Because she's not quite dead.
So, I mean, I don't know what I just.
You're just
saw
blind
her-
firing? Okay.
Yeah, pull the trigger.
Then I'll describe it. So you hit her like in the neck. And she falls to the ground. She grabs her neck, but like blood is just pouring out of her neck. And you can hear her. She's laying on the ground and she's like hyperventilation. But you can see in her right hand, she's holding what looks like a detonator. And she's she's like hyperventilating, and she sees you and she gives you one of these. And she presses the button, and the entire fucking kitchen just. I need you to roll 10d6.
Jesus. Monk, aren't you glad that I tripped you up? This could be you.
Is Shane's character gonna die in another fiery eruption? But this time he
no.
didn't
No
do it
sixes.
to himself.
There's no 6s there, which is good. So you're going to take an additional 3 points of damage from this blast. Silas and Marcus, I need both of you to roll 5d6. Because this blast, like, comes up through the ground. Like, it comes up from the lower part of the room. Dorian, you're basically covered in debris. Like, shit has fallen down on you. You luckily managed to like dive behind like the refrigerator or something, some large appliance that sort of mitigated the blast from hitting you like directly square in the face. But make no mistake, the entire side of this house that faces towards like the bunkhouse is just gone. It's fucking gone. The upstairs starts to cave in. Like the explosion goes up into the upper range. So I need Marcus and Silas both to roll 5d6.
One
I
6
got two.
You got 2 6s?
I got 2 6s and 1 1.
2 6s. All right. And Silas, you got 1. Silas, you're going to take 3 points of damage. Marcus, you're going to take 4 points of damage from this explosion.
Well, then I'm down.
Are you?
Yeah, I only had 3 before that.
Ooh. Okay. I'm I need you to roll me a red dice and a white dice.
I got a 6 on the red and a 5 on the white.
Okay. Reroll that red dice.
What's a 3?
So 35. As the shrapnel is coming up from the lower level, you take a piece of shrapnel directly in your knee, which is basically going to tear that tendon that's in your kneecap that holds the kneecap over in place.
My leg is fucked again?
Your leg is fucked again.
What critical injury is this?
Is a torn knee. Torn ligament in your knee.
It's nasty.
But you're alive?
Would that be busted kneecap?
Yeah.
I don't see yet.
You're using a book that I've since modified, but nonetheless.
This is trash.
So yeah, Silas, you take some damage, but not nearly as much as Marcus. He's significantly worse for the wear. Bunk, you finally kind of get into there, and you see the whole thing. Like, you're getting ready to walk in the kitchen door when this whole fucking explosion goes off. You just get knocked backwards. Actually, do you get knocked backwards? Give me
Was I even there yet?
Give me an agility. Give me a mobility roll. We'll find out if you had made it to the door yet.
My mobility is terrible. My guess is after he tripped me and made it to the door and said, "I'm Mr. Fucking Danger," and then jumped in there. Bunk's like just getting to a knee because he's drunk and old.
That is a good, like,
mobility, 3 and 1.
it's like series of events. That's why they call me Danger, and then the place blows up.
I got 1, 6, 1, 1.
No, so you got like right to the door when the explosion went off, and it knocked you back, but you're not going to take any damage.
Am I still on my feet?
You are on your feet. Your ears are ringing. You're drunk, but you're on your feet, and you're mostly unharmed.
I'm like just at a loss. I'm looking around the kitchen. I'd like to look at Peter. Do I see Peter?
You see what you see is that from about here to here, his head has just been removed. And based on the smear on the kitchen floor, you assume that is the remains of Peter's skull, brains, and face. Peter is no more.
Okay. I look over to the lady, or the lady stain, wherever. What's remains of if there's anything left. Lady with the detonator.
Oh, she's in pieces. Like, she's unrecognizable.
Okay. And then look over for Dorian. Is Dorian alive, on his feet?
Yeah, I mean, how many hit points does Dorian have left?
4.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he took some damage. Miraculously, he was mostly unharmed. Apparently, like, some of the large furniture took the brunt of the blast. He is sort of like covered, like he's got like the table kind of flipped up and landed on him. So he's under this big like oak kitchen table, but he is alive and I mean,
I run over to him
amazingly unscathed.
Frantically, like, trying to take the furniture off of him and take all this shit off of him.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of help him out of it.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, you're You do, and Dorian, you kind of like dust yourself off, and I'm sure you have some sort of witty quip that you'd like to make.
I'm just glad that I was able to save your life. I mean, you only have a few years left, but I'd like you to see the end of them.
I let go of Dorian's hand, and then I just like start walking towards the stairs.
Okay.
And I start yelling, Marcus, Silas, Marcus, you guys still alive?
So I just kind of get up and shake the cobwebs out, like, I'm fine, I think. But Marcus looks pretty bad. I'm gonna need help. And be careful. I don't know if any of these little shit stains are up here alive.
That's a good point. So let's see. I said there were 8 altogether. So you downstairs, the older one upstairs, there are 6. There is only one left alive, and it's the youngest one, the 13-year-old girl.
Do I see her?
Yes. Yeah, you see her, and you can tell that she is she's alive. She's terrified and disoriented, but she's alive.
I point my gun at her. You stay put, and I reach down and I grab the shotgun.
Okay.
You move a single fucking inch, I am shooting you.
And she
Hand up, hey.
does not move.
Glad we have that understood. Now I yell over my shoulder, someone help. Marcus is real bad.
Is this even stable anymore? Is this house like I'm having to run upstairs in a bombed out house?
That's an excellent question.
Is Marcus like conscious or he's unconscious?
Marcus is
No.
conscious. Marcus is conscious,
Okay.
but he's
I kind of yell up to Silas, we need to drag his ass out. This building ain't gonna stay up for too long.
Well,
Get your shit and let's go. I kind of look at Dorian, and I'm like, I ain't fast enough.
So
Everybody, let's get out.
all right.
hop like do so fast.
Give me a mobility roll.
Dorian be nimble, Dorian be quick. Dorian jumping all over this.
Oh yeah, where were all those 6s a minute ago?
I know, seriously.
So yeah, you go right up the stairs. I mean, you do notice that a couple of them are kind of are very sketchy, but you blow right past them. You're like, I see you, and you go on up the stairs, and you see
So much flair.
You see Marcus, whose knee looks like looks bad. Silas looks like he's taken taken a bit of a beating. What do you want to do?
can we get him downstairs between the two of us?
Absolutely.
What about the little girl?
Fuck her. She tried to. She was with the group that shot us. One of them.
To the little girl, I want to do like this. I can see that Silas is pretty pissed at her. And then I throw that bullet that I pulled out of
Okay.
Pete's eye and I want to hit her right on the forehead. A bad girl.
And you do.
Say the next one is coming quicker.
Yeah.
You do, and she kind of like flinches, and she's, whatever. But like, I think she understands that as an additional threat.
All right, yeah.
All right,
And then,
all right,
I'm going to
get
take
Marcus
Marcus down.
Okay. Give me another mobility roll. You know what? Fuck it. The two of you managed to get downstairs with Marcus. And so you guys all make it downstairs. Marcus and Silas, you see what Silas had kind of understood. You see, the top head of Peter's head just completely missing. The brains and fragments of skull splattered all over the floor. The kitchen, like half of it is just gone at this point. There is shrapnel and timbers and just fragments of wood all over the place in this kitchen. It looks like a bomb went off.
We should grab his gold.
While they were upstairs,
Uh-huh.
Bunk would have liked to have, because he was alone downstairs, he would have sifted through the pockets of Peter and gotten all that gold back.
Okay. Cool. Yeah.
Still going to Canada, boys.
So yeah, you guys are just sort of downstairs in this kitchen. The woman that's sort of been tagging along with you ever since you rescued her from the cellar, she looks at you and she said, "Did you say your name was Dorian Danger?"
The one and only.
And her eyes get huge. And she takes a breath like she's getting ready to say something. Like she's incredibly shocked. But from outside, like down the street, you hear somebody shouting, "Hey! Hey!"
They're just yelling at all of us? Or her?
It's not the girl. This is a totally different voice that's outside. You can tell it's coming from. So, like, if you look at the map, it's coming from that road where you guys initially came in.
Shit.
Yeah.
And the sound of this guy, or this, you assume it's a man. It sounds like a man's voice. This voice like interrupts the woman. She was getting ready to say something, but it like distracts her from what she was going to say. You can hear somebody coming up the road that you guys came in on initially. You can hear somebody yelling.
What? We're in a bad way with Marcus here, but you gotta find some sort of defensible position.
Yeah. Marcus is pretty much down. Bunk, how you doing? Just super drunk?
I look at everybody and say, "Dorian, can you hotwire that truck?"
Yeah, I've 100% done this
Absolutely
multiple
love this.
times.
I say,
Yeah, go
let's
ahead.
throw him in the back. Let's get in that truck and let's get the hell out of here. I don't think we're in good enough shape to do another showdown.
I love it.
I would like to take out the binoculars and take a peek down in the direction of
okay.
the voice.
Yeah, so give me an observation roll. With the binocular gear bonus.
Binoculars.
Binoculars.
3 6s.
3 6s. Holy shit. So you can distinctly tell that running up the road to the house is a man, kind of a scrawny looking dude, dressed in Vanguard uniform. And at first you're not really getting a good picture of it, but then sun catches his face just right, and you realize this is Kurt.
Kurt, he's back.
He's running up the road to you guys. He's running up the road towards you guys. It's like, "Hey! Are we still going to Canada?" And I think that's where we're going to end it for tonight.
It was good.
Maybe you don't need a hotwire truck, or maybe Kurt. Well, we'll see.
I mean, actually, let's do that first. Let's find out if you're going to hotwire this car, or that could be the dramatic start to our next session, is whether or not Dorian can hotwire a car. I'll let you guys pick it.
There's more than enough time to hotwire this car. Let's fucking do it.
Dorian's been hot tonight, and I believe almost all of his magic as a skeptic, so I'm on board with it.
All right. Give me either a crafting or a mobility roll, whichever is better for you.
100% mobility.
Okay. If you still have that multi-tool from when you were pulling the bullet out of Peter's eye, you can take a +2 gear bonus to that as well.
Do I? I do have my own multi-tool.
Oh, okay. Well, then, yeah, just great. I
Right,
thought that
so-
somebody had lent that to you.
I had, but you gave it back, right? If you have your own.
Yeah.
He just didn't want to get blood on his.
Yeah, I didn't want to dirty it. Mine's strictly for hot wiring vehicles.
Hold
Gear
on.
bonus +2.
If you can't, let old Bunk have a try at it. Fuck, I didn't realize it was crafting. That's my jam.
Yeah, well, Dorian just wants to impress you guys, so he's gonna give it a shot.
All right,
2
so
sixes.
2 6s. You get in there and you can tell the battery at least is good, and you hear it like, and you get it another time. The car fires up. It sounds like it is in desperate need of a new muffler, but it is running. And as all the gauges sort of engage, you realize the truck has about half a tank of gas. It has 265,000 miles on it, but it's got half a tank of gas, and it fired up.
Better than my car.
So I think on that dramatic success, we will play out you guys loading up into the truck and heading out and getting the fuck out of Dodge in a couple weeks.
Nice.
This was super. I love this session. This was super fun for me.
And those
As
girls
always,
were
thanks to
giving
the
me the
one
creeps
person
the
that
entire
watched the
time.
stream. Was that you, Gregory, watching?
No, it wasn't me.
Oh,
I
we
think
had
it's
an
my buddy
actual
from work.
visitor? We had an actual viewer?
Woo! Yeah, I signed out of Twitch, so
Oh,
it wasn't- I
perfect.
think it
All
was my
right.
buddy
Well,
from work.
Cool. Well, Ryan's buddy from work, thanks for watching. We'll play again in a couple weeks.